welcome. Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intentions. Welcome back to another episode. And today I have a beautiful guest with me, Jasmina. She is coming here with us all the way from Sweden. So, welcome. So happy to have you here. Thank you for coming on. So, let's get started on this beautiful journey together. So, Jasmina, can you share with us a bit about yourself, your background, and then after what inspired you to write for Ripple Effect of Impact, please?
Sure. Hello, Eva.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Uh, yes, sure. I am a coach and I work with single moms with big dreams and ambitions like myself. So I like to help them to have that success in life and without really sacrificing their health or the precious time with their kids. Those are the things that are very important to me, and I have big dreams too. And I love helping others to have that as well. I am actually born in Bosnia, so I am an immigrant in Sweden, but it was many years ago. I was through a domestic war as a child in Bosnia, and then like a war refugee coming to Sweden when I was a teenager, 13 years old. So yeah, that has been a rough experience, of course, that has built me up and is a part of who I am today. And then, growing up in Sweden, I became a corporate leader actually at the end. So I have had a great corporate career. I was in corporate for almost 20 years. But I must admit, I never loved that. It wasn't who I was. I was just like following a path that I thought, was what you would call success. That's what I was taught to do, that was what I believed by then was the only right path to actually to have to be able to have some kind of success in life. And what I actually wanted was joy and happiness. I was chasing that and forcing, all the accomplishments, everything, and I never could find it. So a few years ago, I actually went through divorce, and that was really big for me. So even if it was as good as divorce gets, me and my ex-husband have like beautiful relationship. We are best friends. But still, I have two kids. I am a single mom, and so going through divorce was really hard on me. I was feeling like I was like, doing something to my kids, even if I knew that it was the right decision. And that was kind of a turning point for me and in my life to actually, fall down really bad and to then see the light and just go through like really deep inner journey or to begin that. And I've been on that journey since then. I believe I will continue forever because I believe in infinite growth. And I've been becoming, I don't know, more and more spiritual and have been opening my heart more and more. And I'm really passionate about helping others as well. And then the book, it came to me, and I can tell you just the headline, the theme of the book just talked to my heart, the ripple effect. For me, it's like one of the main themes in my life as well. I want to have that ripple effect to my kids firsthand, So my kids are everything for me. And as much as I grow, as more I can, show them the light and the path and help them to grow into beautiful versions of themselves. And I've seen that because I've become so much more joyful and happy and open and it affects them in a beautiful way. And then also, going further with my like clients or people that I can help, they have kids too. So that is, the theme of the book really talked to my heart. And I love the opportunity to actually write, so I've been dreaming about that too. So I just wanted to grab that opportunity as well and to see it as maybe another way to impact somebody else's life, to inspire somebody. That I hope
Wow.
so. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. That is truly amazing. And we both share a lot of similarities in our lives. I also moved from Europe in 1993 to Canada. So that journey has been, that part of my journey has been a little bit of a roller coaster. I am also a single mom who has a beautiful 5-year-old. So we have lots of things in common here.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, we want to help humanity and be that ripple not only for everybody else there, but also in our families and things
Yeah.
like that, right? So that is really beautiful. I absolutely love that. So, what is the core message you hope readers take away from your contribution to the book when they read it?
Yeah. I think it is, I share a little bit about my story in the chapter, and it's a story about, following this path that was, predetermined for me, and I was really forcing myself through things. When I say forcing, I mean, it's not that things were like hard. Of course, they were hard work to do, but when you do something that's not coming from your heart, you force things, so I was just pushing, running very fast, accomplishing things because I thought that that was what success is, and also because I thought it was the way to happiness, that I would be happy someday. And then going from that to the way of just actually growing and being and realizing that the most important things is who I am and who I become. So, I will not go into the whole journey, but it's actually a point of like forcing to being and really like allowing life with love. And also, to inspire somebody to know that they can do anything, they can change themselves, and then they can change their life, no matter, the circumstances, no matter the background that they have. So that's my main theme.
That's beautiful. That's yes, of course. We get caught up in the moment, and so it's really important to remember ourselves and who we are and our values as well. So, on
Yeah.
personal growth, and how has writing for this book impacted you personally and on a professional level?
Yes, it has made a great impact on me. Personally, I can say this is the first time, even if it's a short chapter, that I shared like quite vulnerable personal things, out with my childhood, my parents, and that hasn't been really, easy. But so it's impacted me quite good. It's been like a healing journey, So, and also, to allowing myself, because I think it can, my story can help somebody else, or somebody else can relate, that's who has experienced like similar things. And, professional, I just allowed it because I met some other beautiful souls through this, that are like-minded, that I am just really inspired, and I am also inspired, to be able to actually write and get published, and get to, get to inspire other people out there. So
Yes, for sure. And that's so true. Like, it impacts us, on personal level, even if we don't see it right away.
yeah,
Sometimes it takes us a while. It's like, oh my goodness, like it's got done that so much for me, like the healing, the growth and all that. But professionally, like as they say, books open doors too. And in so many ways, like you get to meet new people in brand new communities you never even knew existed, some of them. Like I myself, like for me, I've put my book in the bookstore. Who knew? Like one day it
yeah,
was just a figment of a dream. Now it's a
yeah,
reality, and it's like, we realize how powerful we are, and we got to step into who we are truly, you know um and let ourselves live. I think it's so important. So sometimes people are afraid to get into something new, a new project, because they're like, oh, I don't know the outcome. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what? If it feels like you want to do something, go do it. Step out of that comfort zone, go after your dreams, because life's too short. Like we were just talking about this on the show the other day, and it's like, why now? And I said, because life's too short. Why
Yeah,
wait for the opportunity
yeah,
when it's right in front of you?
yeah,
What do you got to lose, basically?
yeah.
So that is so beautiful, Jasmina. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
what were some challenges maybe you faced while writing your own piece, and how did you overcome that?
Mm. I could actually, what I said before a little bit, sharing like on the personal level, being vulnerable, sharing about my parents, and both maybe my parents and my divorce, even if maybe it was more challenging sharing about my childhood and maintaining like this balance where I was trying to be really honest, transparent. That's really important to me, but still, keeping some kind of, respect and love, because of course I love my parents, I respect them, but at the same time, if I'm going to tell something, then it's really important for me to be like really, really honest about it. So it was quite challenging to find that balance, and to know speak from my heart and still not, I wouldn't say not go too deep, but a little bit about like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what you mean. I had to kind of do the same thing with my first and second book because I was like,
yeah,
okay, well, how do I tell it without,
yeah,
being too bold and at the same time be respectful to
yeah,
because it's all a learning curve.
yeah,
Sometimes things happen, and in the moment it happens, we don't see it, the full outcome, but later when we want to tell it, you give it grace, you give it love,
mm,
you still share it, but share it from a respect point of view, right? So that's
yeah.
really beautiful. Can you share a story, maybe some other thing that you like to share from your experience that had a significant impact on someone's life?
Oh, and to show something. I can share, and I would try to be not to go too far into it. Um, I have a friend, a dear friend, I actually a young man that I met in one of these, like personal development groups. You get invited to free events, amazing events, and then of course later they offer like paid courses and so. So in one of these groups, I met this young, ambitious man, and somehow we connected. I think he reached out because I wrote a post or something, and I think I went on, to that paid program. He didn't, because it was, far away from what he could afford. And we stayed in touch, and I kind of, he was, I wouldn't say trouble, but not even when I say we all can do anything in spite of our circumstances, there's also to acknowledge that we do have different circumstances. I mean, I was in war, and, coming then to this beautiful country, Sweden, it was two completely different worlds. And I wouldn't have the opportunities, if I stayed in war, I might have even died. So, I mean, this guy, he is born in a, the part of the world that has different circumstances, and it's really hard. So he was, he was not having a good life, and he was doing some things that might not be so good, to be able to survive. But there is something in him, there is something, I thirst for more, for growth, ambition. And so I was coaching him like pro bono for some time. And just to not, to prolong this, he has been able to, stop doing what he was doing, to get some new skills, to learn all on his own, night and day, and to actually start doing some things that he can get some income, but also he's starting to develop himself and to really become something different. So, and he has big dreams and goals now, and I mean, far from that, but he's he's getting there, and he has been so grateful and happy, and I have been so grateful, to see that. So, and in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't see, that in front of me, getting in, just even connect to somebody and impacting somebody that's so far away from me, and we don't have so much in common. But in common, it's not my like one of my ideal clients or anything, but it still has been like, amazing. And we are still, I still, help him a bit and coach him, and we are like, friends. So that's been, for me great. I was thinking about my own kids, if they, would be in trouble and not having somebody. So yeah.
Pay it forward, as they say, but that's so beautiful. You're already spreading the ripple effect, right? I mean, we do it in and out every day, but what a great way to contribute and helps somebody else in need. And it just makes you feel so good, doesn't it? Yeah, you're a
Yes,
shining
yes,
star,
it
my dear.
does.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to write and create a meaningful impact?
I would say if you get opportunity, really, if you get, but don't hesitate, just do it, because I know so many of us are like driven by fear. You know, when you get into something that you haven't done before, you know, when you need to step out you know, out from your comfort zone, the fear, the ego gets in the way, and you have all these doubts and fears. So just do it in spite of that. You know, take the steps, and of course, you know, it can be, you know, a bit bumpy, but you will do it. And imagine just that you can, you know, inspire somebody else or help somebody else, you know, with your story, because there are people out there, you know, that can relate and that actually can get a push in themselves
Yeah,
to make some kind of a new choice in life.
exactly. That's
Yes.
awesome. And do you have any daily practices or routines that help you stay focused, motivated to, bring out the best in your life?
Yes, I do. I actually do. I would say that I love early mornings. You know, I am an early morning person, and I always have been. So it's nothing that I have like suddenly, you know. So I always have been. And for me, my mornings are really, you know, that they are like they set the intention, you know, for the rest of my day. So I usually go up early, you know, and I have like a routine for my morning. And it's also, you know, I would say that a part of it I have done like for many years, and a part of it changes sometimes from time to time, you know. And it sometimes depends also because I don't have as much time as I would like to. I have kids, I have, you know, I'm working, but that's, you know, the biggest, I think the biggest, you know, thing in my life, to start my mornings in with intention and in the way I really wanted it, like in calmness and with myself. That's my time with myself. So
Exactly.
and then I also, you know, I make sure I'm very interested in health and wellness and nutrition, exercise, everything. So I make sure to eat quite well. I love cooking and I love eating, you know, and healthy food. And so it helps a lot. And I exercise like daily, and I love coming out in nature. So I do that as well every day, at least once a day, maybe even like more times. And sleep is also very important to me. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I don't, you know, get enough every night, but I try to. I try to get in bed, you know, quite early, since I go up early, and to make sure that I get enough sleep, because I just notice how it affects me otherwise. So, yeah,
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that routine, make sure we stay balanced and and healthy. That's very important because without health, what do we
yeah,
have, right?
nothing. Yes.
Exactly. Are there any upcoming projects or books maybe you're working on that you'd like to share with us? A little snip into the future?
There is something, but I haven't, you know, decided or signed like really yet. It is actually with the same, you know, publisher that for the Ripple Effect as well, Action Takers. So I am talking to them, and there's a book that really talks to me, to my heart. So I just want to find out a little bit more about it, but I feel really excited. So I feel it's coming. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. I can't wait to see what
Yeah.
happens with that one.
Yeah.
How do you personally define success? I know we talked a little bit about it before, but in a nutshell, how do you personally define success? And has that definition evolved over time?
Yes, I can say that it has really changed over time. If you ask me like many years ago, I would probably have given you like this kind conventional, traditional answer, you know, that success is, yeah, good education and, you know, good career and a nice home, everything. And then I think that changed then into, you know, I think that success for me became like free, you know, wanting freedom, everything from financial freedom to, you know, just freedom of time, space, and I just, kind of wanted to be free and maybe having like my own business. So it was, and I think it's still like a part of it. I still like one of my values is freedom, but I would add on that, like in recent years, it's been more about, who I am. Success. I think success for me is mostly of who I am, who am I becoming. It's about growth, evolving, and also serving. Who am I serving? How much am I serving? Who am I helping? So I think those two things, it's like, evolving and serving. That's I think success for me in life now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's truly amazing. Thank you. And last but not least, I want to ask, so our podcast is called Rise and Thrive, Mornings with Intention. What does this title evoke for you, and how do you see the importance of starting the day with intention? Again, I know we talked a little bit about this, but to wrap it up nicely, what would you
Yeah.
say?
Yes, I love that, Eva. I love, your theme. And yes, we talked about it lately. So I think my mornings are really sacred for me. I love them. And I start my mornings early. So always start with like some kind of movement, moving the energy in my body. And that's the part that I actually always do. I don't change that. I am just, that's just a part of me. So I can skip a day if I'm traveling or something, but then it really, start to affect me. And it can be like really different depending on what I need. Sometimes it's like intense, like some kind of hit training or running. I run a lot in the summertime in the forest nearby. But it can also be, like much calmer, like yoga and flexibility training and stuff like that, because I enjoy that as well. And then usually, I in the summertime now, since I live in Sweden, summers are beautiful and warm, but winters are mornings are just dark and cold. In summertime, I love coming outside and like with my coffee, and I do a short breath work, just 5 to 7 minutes, maybe just deep breathing. And then I read. Usually I read something for maybe 15, 20 minutes. So that's mine. And this like it changes since I change the season changes in the winter time. Maybe I sit with my like red light lamp
Yeah.
and read or do a short meditation, just something because exercise gets me up and change the energy in my body, and I just want something to ground me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm done, I actually just sit like maybe just for a minute in gratitude, just to feel that gratitude. It is so easily for me to feel, especially in the mornings, because I love that. And I try to set that intention for the rest of my day, that no matter what happens, my intention is to be able to find back to that feeling.
Wow.
So these are usually my mornings. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's really important to set that intention. Sometimes we don't realize that we just get up, get that coffee, and out the door we
Yeah.
go, without kind of, taking the time to, be with ourselves, ground ourselves,
Yeah.
I remember when I first got into, the program, I had to do reading, I had to do meditations, all this because that's what was on the
Mm.
list. But then I'm like, oh, it sounds like a chore. But as I went into
Mm.
actually doing them, they became part of me. So
Yeah.
it's something new. Um, and it's something that helps me get through the day with more ease and flow when we start the
Yeah.
day right with intention, whether for some people it might be just yoga,
Yeah.
meditation, reading book or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So I think it's truly important to set the day right. Most of the time we look at the phone and right away we want to check all the messages.
Mm.
I've trained
Yeah.
myself. It's like, nope, that's not the first thing you do. First, you ground yourself,
Yeah.
take care of the
Yeah.
oneness within you. Then you go on with your day. So I
Yeah.
really think
Yeah.
that's really beautiful. So thank you so much, Yasmina, for being with here today. I absolutely enjoyed this time with you. Thank you for sharing all your beautiful wisdom, insights, and all the exciting things that are coming up. And for those who would love to get in touch with Jasmina, in this video, we'll post again the bio and how you can get in touch with Jasmina. And if you love to chat with us or get in touch with me, all the information will be posted in this video. So I hope you enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much, Jasmina, for being here. And everybody have a beautiful day and see you guys soon again. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.